would like to introduce Fabia Mартеля. He's an expert in ecological agriculture in second generation, and we're working together to raise this orchard for already 5 years. Fabian has his own consulting firm founded in 2008, and he has a huge experience in different countries raising up ecological, environmental friendly orchards in Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Russia, and now China. And we're working here on this orchard for 5 years, raising it from scratch. And I would like to ask some questions to Fabian about this huge project of Siberian Wellness. For me, I'm not a specialist in agriculture. This land seems very barren and not suitable for agriculture at all, not only for ecological agriculture. What can you say from your experience, from your expert point of view about this land? Because Fergana Valley is very famous.
That's true, a well-known place to grow stone fruits. It was a virgin land. Before planting it was only pasture, maybe some field of wheat, but no fruit production here in that land. When we checked the soil, we did first of all some soil profile, some soil analysis, and this typical sandy clay soil is very well adapted for stone fruit. So no worry with the soil. It's not a good soil for carrots, for cabbage, for potatoes.
Yes.
But that's a great soil for stone fruits. It's the first priority when we want to do ecological production, is to have a good adaptation to plant the right species on the right place. It's the first step to have a sustainable agriculture.
And I think that to have a virgin land is also a priority.
Very important point.
Yes.
To have virgin land at the beginning, and also to check also the water resources. And we have water resources. We had also organic matter. You can see a lot of compost because it was one of our first requests to gather cow manure from the farm. We have a big storage of cow manure to do our own compost. And today this is our fertilizers. This sandy soil allows good drainage. So even after rain, there's no flood. There's no soil erosion. We used to plant this, we say, semi-intensive orchards.
Mm-hmm. What does it mean, semi-intensive?
It means we don't use trellis in this orchard.
Mm-hmm.
It's tree on its own roots.
Mm-hmm.
Our trees, as you can see, change every year. So there was baby 4 years ago.
Yes.
Now they start to produce. They just enter in production. They're gonna even double by volume. The canopy today, you can see, we achieve half of the canopy we would like to achieve.
So we started our work 5 years ago, approximately. And I know that in 2022, we got our first fruits. Mm-hmm. How can you estimate, evaluate these first fruits that we received in this orchard, which was raised up from the scratch?
I was very satisfied by the taste and by the sweetness of the fruits. Mm-hmm. We have very good taste, flavors, especially in this area.
And then in 2023, we were on a steady path.
We are significantly increasing the yield, the production. The cherry just entered this year. Mm-hmm. Last year was maybe 200 kilo.
200, yes.
And now we go for 10, 15 tons.
10, 15 tons.
Yeah, and then again. So we are just at the beginning. Just at the beginning.
Yes, I remember that 2 years ago, these cherry trees were very small. And it seemed for me that on this land, in this hot climate, it's not impossible to produce that kind of fruits.
We are tough as well because we have to train the trees.
Yes.
First, we build the structure. Then we bear fruits. If we bear too early, our fruit will never develop. So it's our job to teach also agronomists to make good tree structure. So we have a recut and recut
Yes.
to make a good rooting. And now you can have a good fruit bearing.
So as I understand, when we start an ecological orchard,
Yeah.
we need to spend at least 2-3 years at the beginning to prepare.
It is the way we have chosen. When we are in medium density, it's semi-intensive orchard without posts, without trellis. It takes more time to develop the tree canopy and then to enter in production. So it requires at least 3, 4, 5 years for cherries.
Okay.
Could be a bit earlier for apricot and peach, but at least it takes minimum 2 years basic training to make the tree development, and then the trees can bear fruits.
Okay, and so now we can say that after these 3 years, we are very satisfied with the results we achieved.
We are in the topic, we are on the targets.
Yes.
We have some, as all projects at the beginning, we have some issue to fix. But today I can say we are in 5th years of growing for the oldest tree. We're going to achieve significant yield. You can say 20 tons per hectare.
20 tons, yes.
For the best plots in apricot on peach. So we can be satisfied.
What will be our second stage?
Certification of ecological products. It is like EcoCert.
Finished products.
Yeah, EcoCert. We have also many certification to make sure that we follow all the rules to produce an ecological product. It is today in process.
Do you have some work going on?
There is no end.
Yes.
Anyway, now we have to improve the quality. Always could be by the size, the taste. It means to improve also about the quantity and the quality, the storability. I have to say that fruit sector is a very innovative sector. Every year there are new varieties, giving us new specificity. Could be early picking, late picking, better storage, better firmness, better taste, more nutrients, more something. But every year there is tons of innovation in the world. And it's also one part of our job to check, to do this survey and to know which could be the future. So there's always better varieties to use less water, so new rootstock to use less water, or to give better storage, or to give better taste, to give more satisfaction to the consumers.
Do we work on some storage devices here in the garden? Because it's very important to store the yield which we get.
The shade, the freshness, because we need to provide fresh fruit for the consumers. Stone fruits, especially, it must be fresh. But I think freshness is very key. This is why we have our storage here. We built the storage last year, so you can see we have 200 meters between us and the storage.
Yes.
So the aim is to, as soon as we pick, we could cool down the fruits, and then we have time to carry the fruit to the market.
So as I understand, it's also a very important part of ecological agriculture to have a storage on a place, on a site.
That's a good point, to avoid transportation of the fruit to another place. So this is why we did this choice, to make some saving of fuel consumption and for the final consumer, for the freshness.
Fabian, I feel a very good smell of something. What is it?
It is almond trees.
Almond trees. And we can see just new green almonds here.
Yeah. New nuts are coming now. Look, it was blooming.
Yes, it was blooming two weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
But still we have a blossom. And we have some
smell of almond trees. We have a nice blossom and very nice weather for almond trees.
And this land is also very good for almonds.
Yeah, especially this stony land need very well almond trees.
And now I would like to ask you about a very important question about the Global GAP certification. As I understand, GAP means good agricultural practice. It's the same as we have in pharmaceutical business, GMP, good manufacturing practice. It's a very strict standard of quality.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about GAP, Global GAP?
Yeah, GAP certification is very important for us. This is why from the beginning we have included GAP certification from the conception of that orchard. And today GAP means good agricultural practice, as you said. It means also to ensure traceability. We should ensure to our consumers the origin of each product we're gonna bring to them.
And we can trace it from the beginning
Exactly.
to the final product.
Exactly, so it's a real job to teach also our agronomists to record well all operation from zero to the expedition.
So if I'm a customer and I see final products certified by Global GAP, for
This
example,
almond,
almonds,
Yeah,
I can be sure that this very product was traced from the
Exactly.
beginning to the
Exactly.
end. And I can be sure that this is a real agricultural, ecological practice.
exactly. This is what we did.
I think it's very important.
And we achieved that certification last year already.
So it's not very important just for us, because of course we are practicing good standards in each of our business, but it's very, very important for the final customer.
Yeah, and it allows us to export all over the world because the certification is well known today in Europe, in US, everywhere. You can see, well, the nuts are coming now. We're gonna have a sorting during the next coming week. Some of them gonna drop, but the best gonna stay. And picking time expected end of August, beginning of September. We have 5 varieties, and picking time gonna spread over a period of 1 month.
Which size do these three have of almonds?
We expect to achieve 1 gram per
1 gram
nuts.
per nut.
Pure nuts.
Is it big value?
Yeah, very nice. We are very satisfied by the almond results in this orchard from the beginning, because it's a not water demanding plant.
Yes.
We need much less water if I compare with peach.
Is it the first yield of our almond trees?
No, we had already last year significant
but not,
results.
not big. Big?
We should produce at least, I guess, 2 to 3 times more this year.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
2-3 times
And
more.
the trees are still developing. They are still developed.
Yes. Is it because trees growing?
Trees are growing. Look, we have to fill all the space. As soon as we have some gap between 2 trees, we have to fill up all the
Yes.
space.
Fabian, from this point, I see most of our orchards, a huge territory. I need to ask you a question. How many hectares and how many trees on average we have in this orchard?
We already planted 400 hectares, correspond to 400,000 trees in average.
That's a great job. I just wanted to ask you about this tree.
Is it peach?
Peach?
Flat peach, just
Flat
coming.
peach. And I see a small fruit.
Yeah,
already.
exactly. So here we have planted 600 trees per hectare. In that, for an example of this peach tree. Okay, and now the fruit are coming. And now we're going to be the good time to ensure good quality, a good size. We know that our consumers want good size fruits. Soon an operation to thin manually. So we're going to employ labor and we're going to select the best fruits. We know a tree like that should bear maximum 150, 200 fruits to ensure good size and good quality.
And that's why you cut the
This is
branches.
why first operation was winter pruning, to allow also a good light everywhere, to make the trees also easy to pick and to work on it. And then we have to do this operation of manual thinning. If we have too much fruit, we never achieve taste,
Good quality.
and size.
Many people think that usually a peach tree is a high tree with a big leaves and greenery, but here I see that it's specially devised like that.
They are still young, they're gonna grow a bit more But anyway, our goal to keep these trees in a reasonable height in order to allow our laborers to work properly for the picking and the fruit selection. This is why we decided this density and this shape, this canopy management. We say semi-intensive peach trees.
Yes, I heard that you have invited an expert from France to consult you specifically on peach tree management.
Exactly. We have a colleague came already 2 times. Used to come each winter to teach our agronomists the canopy management of peach and apricots.
For me, it's very curious to see that every tree around us is uniform. Is it a must for agriculture?
It's a must to ensure good quality and a must also to make the job easy for the workers. If trees are different, it will be very difficult to explain them what to do, what to prune, how to pick, how to thin. A good orchard must be standard. It means when you arrive, the same height, same volume, number of branch. For example, this apricot trees, 400 fruit, and we're going to achieve a good size.
And that's why I see a lot of branches here, because doing that, we can achieve a good and quality yield.
Exactly. And now, after this good pruning we did 2-3 weeks ago now, second operation will be manure thinning. Now, I guess we have 1,000, maybe 2,000 fruits.
From my point of view, 1,000 is better than 400. No?
No, because you're going to have very small, only stone and skin.
That's why sometimes we have on the market very small apricots.
If you enjoy sweetness and good flesh, you should thin manually and control your fruit load. Look, this branch could be only 10 maximum.
Apricots. And so, I cannot see.
But you will see the weather that picking. When apricots are big like this, the branch is entirely full.
Yeah,
I know it's very difficult to convince, but it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. It's mandatory. It's a must.
Another very, very important question about pests and insects. Because everyone knows that insects and pests are a main threat for fruit orchard. What do we do here to control pests? Because I heard that we not only use standard procedures, but also saw a very beautiful plants and trees which attract good insects.
Yeah, it's a big job for us to train agronomists to recognize first good insects and pests, and to recognize also disease or physiological disorders, for example. So there is no spraying for nothing. Today it's forbidden in this orchard.
It's very important. You use chemicals only
when necessary. It means it's also mandatory by GAP certification. So agronomists should monitor the orchard weekly, count pests and disease, and according the threshold, and only when necessary.
And he records everything.
Exactly. Second point is they have to use the organic chemicals. They have to well follow the dosage, the time before harvest. Instruction must be followed.
Yes, but a part of bad insects, pests, we have good insects. Without them, we will not have an yield.
Exactly. This is a very famous saying. Only insects can control insects. It's true. If we have imbalance, because if the growing is too high, if there is no beneficial insects, nothing could stop pests. This is why we have also special rows of, we say, reservoir trees, helping us to catch good insects and helping us have a better balance between the orchards.
Is it also a part of ecological agriculture?
It's mandatory. Like the grass, you can see, and also there's weeds, natural weeds, help us also to have a better balance, keep some good insects, and also control pests in the tree.
That's very interesting. You told me that the dry climate and dry land also help to control pests.
Yeah, we are lucky in this area because even when we have rainfall, it's never very long. Yes. It's only a day, even less, a couple of hours. So dry climate is do not prone fungus disease. I could say there is no big issue of disease in this area.
So we are lucky.
We are very lucky. So it's a paradise.
I know that we have close to 30 varieties of apricot trees in this orchard. Why do we have a lot of different types? Is it useful, or maybe it's possible to have just 1, 2, 3?
First of all, for work management, because it would be not possible to pick 100 tons of one variety in one day. Mm-hmm. So we need to schedule varieties and each variety overlap. It means we're going to start by cherries early May. Each week we're going to have a new variety, so our team could follow the good ripening.
So it's a plan to have a harvest.
Day after day we should pick the good one at the right time. So we start by cherries and apricot overlap, then we have peach nectarines, grape, pear, apple. So during 5 to 6 months we can provide fresh fruits.
Our 30 varieties of apricots give us a chance to harvest apricots, fresh apricots, from May to
July.
So 3 months we have continuous harvest of apricots.
We are the first in Central Asia. We could provide the first cherries, the first apricots, the first nectarines. So we have this chance to be the first on the market.
Okay. Fabian, I heard that we tested different varieties of apricots from different parts of the world. Australia, United States of America, Europe. Do we try them here in order to get the highest harvest and the longest period of harvest?
First of all, it's for tree adaptation to the climates. We no need too early blooming because we could have spring frost. And we need also early picking because the markets demand early picking. So we have selected from the best breeders from California, Spain, France, Italy, Australia. We have selected the best adapted varieties of this land.
And that's why we have a chance to harvest for 3 or even 4 months.
Exactly. Also, we pay attention to this long period of picking for work management and market purpose.
How many varieties of all kinds of fruit trees that we have in these orchards do we have now?
In total, I think we have more than 100 different cultivars.
Peaches?
10 to 15 varieties.
Grapes, almonds,
pear. Now apple are coming.
Apple and this kind of fruit
plums,
tree.
Plums. Yeah, we have also the plums. It's only we have a couple of dozen of trees given by a French nurseryman, a breeder. We never plant this type of plums in Central Asia. You know, it's the first in Central Asia. So we are doing tests to see the quality of the fruits and to test the markets and the agronomical conditions. We're going to have the first fruit this year.
So in a couple of months we will be sure.
Yeah, and we're going to decide to go or not, to increase or not. We have to test first of all the tree adaptation to this climate and then our markets. Is this fruit match with our demand? It's good to have also a good partnership with the breeders because they have the varieties, we are the producer.
And they are also interested in...
They came here and because it's a long-term view business. When we start to plant the trees, it's not for a year, it's not carrots, it's a wedding for 20 years. This is why, yes, partnership in that job is an important point.
Are they satisfied with the results of your job?
Yeah.
Are they surprised to see such an orchard in Uzbekistan?
I can say yes.
You did a great job. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Fabian, As I see, it's our future.
Yeah.
It's our future trees, which we are now preparing for being very healthy, very strong, and to have a great harvest. What is the science behind the growing young trees?
First of all, we need good plant from nurseries,
Yes.
qualitative plant, good height, good size, good root system. Then about the tree management, we say canopy management, we have this technique with, for stone fruits to do a bush. So we need several scaffold branches. So first year we have to cut the trees with knee height to make a bush. You can see today,
Yes.
still pushing like this. Even we're gonna ask labor to remove the lower like this. We don't want too low branches in order to promote good branching in this level. Then in 2 months it's gonna grow very quickly. In May, June I expect branch to be like this. We can recut at this level, and next year shoulder level. So we have a kind of goblet, a vase. At the beginning we expect 10 branches, 15 branches, and time by time we're gonna select the good one. This is why we have good soil preparation before planting. Here we have 2 lines of dripping, and we bring water every day.
So it takes approximately 2 years
Plus,
to have a good, healthy tree.
yeah, 2-3 years.
And only after that,
Yeah,
we can think about the harvesting.
exactly. First of all, priority to tree development.
Yes. Fabian, we are among pear trees. It's another very important fruit trees for our orchard. But I heard that pears, especially here in Uzbekistan, are very sensitive to some pests or bacteria, very aggressive.
Yeah, fire blight. Fire blight is a very nasty bacterial.
It can kill all
Kill the
harvest.
trees, especially pear and quince. And this is why here we have planted a new variety which is tolerant and resistant. It is Arrow Street from Canada. And this one is tolerant, resistant to this bacteria, so no need to spray anything.
So we'll lessen the amount of chemicals.
Even not for this
Even
bacterial, no chemicals.
So the right choosing of a variety saves a lot of chemicals.
It's a key. A good organic or eco-friendly orchard is 3 steps. Virgin land, good soil, good varieties, rustic, tolerant varieties. It's a key.
I have noticed that kind of
Yeah.
leaves. What is it?
This is a rootstock. All our trees in this orchard, all species, we graft our varieties on a rootstock. So we have always 2 plants
So
Yeah.
2 plants in one.
in one. This is a grafting process. So we select the best rootstock according to the soil adaptation, IPH could be drought resistance, less water demand, or pest resistance, fungus resistance, soil fatigue we used to say. So, and then we graft the variety we want to give to our consumers.
Okay, so we just spend less efforts to bring a new tree.
Exactly. So here we have a pear trees, arrow sweet, grafted on the quince. This is why the leaves are so different.
And yes,
Yeah.
2 different plants in one.
Yeah, it's possible. Quince and pear are compatible, like almond and peach, or almond and apricots.
Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible.
And we spend a lot of efforts and we use a very strong roots of one tree to graft another one.
Exactly. And it is typically our job at the very beginning of the project to find what could be the best rootstocks according to this type of soil and which best varieties to provide for the consumers.
Fabian, thank you very much. You have told me such a lot of very interesting, very curious things about ecological agriculture, because I thought that ecological agriculture is just spending less chemicals, but it's a huge, enormous thing.
We have to consider all points: the soil, the plants, the climate, and the training
the personnel.
our people, our agronomists, to have a good understanding. And it is our challenge today to do that training.
Thank you very much for standing behind this great project. Thank you very much, Fabian.
With you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.